Hello and welcome. Today we are at the global unveiling of India's first coupe SUV. That's right, Tata Motors is going to take out this concept which is called the Curvv. The first version of this vehicle will be as an EV, and then it'll come out as an internal combustion vehicle. Now they have confirmed, Tata Motors, that this is going to be a mid-size SUV and it will be slotted above the popular Nexon. So it will take on the likes of the Hyundai Creta and the Kia Seltos. This coupe SUV is expected to come out within 2 years' time, and as we mentioned that it is a concept, so we also expect the name to change. So come, let's take a quick walk around and see what this vehicle is all about. So let's look at the front now, and it looks very concept-ish, but you know, Tata Motors have said that around 80 to 90% of the looks of this concept will be retained, so the production vehicle will look very similar. The first thing that you notice is this bonnet line, which also has an embedded or inbuilt DRL right here. It goes all across the bonnet line, but more so you'll see that the Tata Motors logo now, it's a lot more pronounced. Usually it's merged into the body, but no, it's a lot more prominent. And if you look at the design as a whole, it continues to have that split headlamp design which we have seen in other Tata Motors SUVs. You go further down, you have this contrasting black bumper. Now it not only tries to make it look sporty, but it also takes in air, so you know, it offers a cooling device. It cools the brakes, and the same also goes for this bonnet design. It looks a bit funky, but there is a reason why it is designed like this, because of aerodynamics. So a lot of thought has been gone into this sort of design. Come, let's take a look at the side profile and we will tell you why this car is called the Curvv. So now coming to the side profile, the first question you will ask is, why is it called the Curvv, this concept? Well, it's quite simple. Just look at the sloping roofline, and that is the typical coupe design. That's the reason why it's called Curvv. And this philosophy is not just it's not only to this car. We will see a lot more newer Tata vehicles which will also get this flamboyant looking design. Now if we come towards the wheel arches right here, it's got that same SUV muscular design. So this squarish wheel arches that you see, it adds that, you know, bit of a muscular profile. You can also see that the tires are extremely chunky. You've got these diamond cut alloy wheels, but unlike most of the EVs, it's not completely covered, and this is also because of aerodynamics, you know. So each and every part of this vehicle, the design, it's not just about looks, but it's also about the aerodynamics, ensuring that the car is a lot more efficient. Now you have this very strong and prominent shoulder line that runs from the A pillar all the way back to the C pillar. Now speaking of the C pillar, again you have this design right here, and this is where again the air flows. So again, efficiency is the key, apart from looks, of course. Come, let's take a look at the rear now. So the design is more or less similar to the front. Like the bonnet also gets that swooping LED that runs across. The same sort of a design is also pretty much prominent here. But the design as such, it's all about simplicity. It's all about retaining the notchback sporty look. Along with that, this car also retains something called modern practicality, and we'll get to that a bit later when we look at the cabin inside. But the language as such is minimalistic, and they have brought that, they've got it spot on. from the inside, the Curvv, as we mentioned earlier, continues with the clean and minimalistic design. The first thing that will catch your attention is the multi-layer dashboard. Now it also uses, the top layer uses a unique material which is recycled, so again it's all about being eco-friendly. Then you see the two floating displays. The center one is the 12.3 infotainment system, and the all digital instrument cluster is a 10.2 display. Now the interesting part about this is that Tata Motors will give customers customization option where you can choose whatever size of displays you want. What's interesting to see is that it comes with a rotary gear selector which looks quite premium. On top of that, the console layout remains quite uncluttered and clean. The climate control panel, which is a touch panel, is very easy to use. But again, what will catch your attention is the unique design of the steering wheel. Like any modern day vehicle, it comes with a massive panoramic sunroof, but what is even more impressive are the seats. They're extremely well contoured. You can see that they are genuinely all about comfort and support, and again these are made by unique materials which are recycled. Also, when you come to look at the floor, it is completely flat. It ensures that there is a lot of space for the passengers. There is no lack of leg room or knee room, but again we have to mention that this is an extremely eco-friendly vehicle, and that's the reason why the floor is made up of recycled leather and plastic. So the Tata Curvv is going to be a second generation EV as well as an ICE Coupe SUV. Now what we expect from it is that it's going to be a proper SUV because it is going to be based on the current platform of SUVs. So we're guessing that it will be based on the Harrier's platform, and that makes it a lot more capable, and at the same time we know that this is going to have a lot of various options like EV as well as internal combustion engines. Now if you look at the car as a whole, it looks very dynamic, as well as the minimalistic design makes it look very futuristic. And as we said it earlier, that Tata has said that they will try and retain as much as 80 to 90% of this design, which makes it quite stunning. We also showed you the cabin as such. It's quite space age, and it is very eco-friendly because it has used a lot of recycled plastic as well as leather materials. So all in all, we can't really wait to drive this car and find out more about it, but at the moment this is the future, and this is how the next Tata vehicles will look like.